You're listening to FM radio. Haha, get it? Get it? Get it? Yeah, whatever. Alright. So, I'm looking for a Relicanth that instead of being bored doing it, I'm going to put on some music and we're going to look for a Relicanth together. So, let's relax and find our Relicanth, shall we? Need a Relicanth again for? So, the Regis in this game are accessed by having a Wailord and a Relicanth in your party and interacting with a certain spot. So, I have the Wailord because I like Wailord. And now I need Relicanth to activate them. Alright. Alright, so let's just go back and forth and do this. So yeah, we got 691 submissions. And it's looking to me like, chat, next week. Next week, we have Pecan 2. I'm going to play Google Translate Pikmin 2. We have potential... We're going to play Dystopia. I don't know how many streams I'll get out of Dystopia, but I got 2 hours out of the main demo, so there's a good chance I'll be playing it more than once. Fantasy Maiden Wars is around the corner, and that game is going to be going on for the rest of the year. I'm almost certain of that, because that game is going to be like 60 plus chapters, and by the second game, some of those chapters are going to take an entire stream just to do alone. That's going to be a very long game. But I really, really like that game. I really like that game. So I'm looking forward to it. And I haven't played Fantasy Maiden Wars or any Tactics RPG in quite a while. There won't be any burnout as far as I'm concerned. I'm excited to see all the new stuff. Only the rest of the year. No, I didn't say only. I said that I'm going to be playing it for the rest of the year. I didn't say I was only playing it for the rest of the year. You gotta use your ears. Considering if all you have to do is look at all the individual parts of the previous 4 games of those streams, add them up, and that's your rough play time for the new one. And that, I believe, clocks into 50 plus parts. Because the first game has very short early chapters, so you can cram a couple of those in. But some chapters take even longer than normal stream time. Like some chapters, especially at the end of the game, take like 3 hours. That one of those chapters and like I think it's like the final 6 chapters, the really long one with I don't want to spoil, but it's really cool. It's a really cool chapter, but it's very big. It's very big, very long. I'm not sure how I'm gonna approach the game this time though. Like I have a better idea what units do. But some units have been changed. But I'll be able to read their skills this time, which is nice. We'll see their battle dialogue. So I'm not sure how I want to approach it. Like, which characters will I use? Will I end up using the same characters again, or will I divvy up my plan? Because Rumia was great. Rumia was budget, but I ended up giving her a bunch of shit to make her, like, as strong as some of the high-cost characters, because I just gave her so much shit. But, like, I could do that for other characters as well. Like, there were some characters I basically didn't use. There were other characters that I ditched because they stopped being that great. Some of them just turned into partner fodder, which is something that kind of stinks. But, honestly, it's better that a character has use as a partner than just being dead weight. So, basically, like, Hina and Flandre were interesting. Because Hina and Flandre, Hina could move 13 spaces. And Flandre's biggest issue was that all of her attacks required power and basically being next to her opponent. So Hina would fucking launch herself 13 squares and then switch with Flandre, and then Flandre would be in kill distance. And it was a really good combination because Hina herself fell off in terms of power, but she did have something she could do with that power. She wasn't completely weak. But her strength was the fact that you could launch her 13 spaces. And if you equipped her with Miss Extreme Attack Power and not good... And the problem that is elevated by Flandre is the fact that Danmaku fields and spell cards limit movement as well. So Flandre has an even harder time approaching. Because Flandre's strongest attack, 4 of a kind, has to be adjacent to the opponent. And Hina allows you to throw Flandre in and get in position before the real Danmaku and spell card fields kind of take active. And then Flandre does so much fucking damage. Flandre is really weird, though. Because Flandre, like, Remilia has less offense, but she's more evasive. Flandre is very strong, but Flandre isn't exactly defensive, but Flandre doesn't have evasion skills. Flandre has defensive skills, so Flandre is not intended to be fast, like, to be evasive and strong. She I don't know what to describe her as, but she's not easy to hit, mind you. She's not like Mei Ling, right? She's not easy to hit, but she doesn't have alert. She has guard. So she has to kind of eat hits, and she can reduce the amount of hits that she takes, but she's not allowed to just dodge things. And I think that's to compensate for a ridiculously high power, is that she's not a glass cannon so much as she's like, I don't know, a stone cannon. She's still a cannon, but she's intended to be sturdy but not super fragile. Whereas Remilia doesn't hit as hard, and she's more reliant on that kind of strategy. Reimu and Marisa are both like that. Although Reimu, I guess, is more balanced in general. She is a dodge tank for sure. She's very evasive, and Marisa is also a dodge tank, but she's stronger than Reimu. Some characters they don't dodge. Nitori, Mei Ling, Kain, they get hit. They get hit a lot, but they're designed to get hit. But I don't think any other character really did the same thing as Flandre, and if they did, it wasn't noticeable, or I just didn't end up using a character like that. Because there's a number of characters who have a high map cost that made it kind of difficult to use a bunch of them. So I only had a couple of the really high level ones, and Flandre was basically always an auto include because I really liked her theme. So Flandre ate up a lot of cost alone, but there are a lot of high cost characters you can choose from. Yuyuko, Yuyuko and Yukari, Eiki, Kaguya, and Eren. I didn't really use any of Aante except Raisin. Tay is not good, but I used both Raisins because Raisin was partnered with Lily and Raisin was partnered with Yomu, and they also had good themes. Part of my selection for which characters I used was based on if I liked their themes and also if I liked the character, but the theme was definitely a big part of it. And when I got Tenchi, I really liked Tenchi. Frog spin music. Yeah, we're gonna see the animations probably touched up. There might be some new animations, new like finishing attacks, because some attacks have finishing animations if they get a kill with them, bosses included. So there might be some more of those that were added. I know there's some new music added as well. There's like for Quaishi and Satori's special attack, for example. They have a new theme that's part of that, which is great. It won't be relevant for a while because those two aren't really in the game for a while, but they do have that. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for it. We'll get to experience the story again. I'm pretty sure I seem to recall being told that a lot of the portraits are more animated. There's more expressions in the conversations, which is nice. There's one thing that bothers me though, and that is there is a white square behind all of the portraits. So all the character portraits are just in this white square, and the white square is just kind of obnoxious, and I wish it wasn't there. So this is the part where I ask the people who know how to mod video games to remove the white square behind the portrait and make it transparent like the original game, so I'm not bothered by it. Thank you. Thank you, goodbye. Bruh, I can't. What do you mean? That's a pretty good request. Have you seen it? The white square it sticks out because the entire HUD is this light sheen blue, right? You got this light sheen blue that's kind of transparent, and then there's just this fucking completely white square where the character pops in at, and it's like, oh, okay. I don't think I can listen to this without getting into trouble. Okay. The white square does stick out. Yeah, see? That's the problem, is it sticks out on the HUD in a weird way, and the original game didn't have that issue because it wasn't there. So I'm being serious when I say that if there's a way to remove that white square, I would actually prefer that, because it's just it doesn't change the gameplay. It just makes the HUD look cleaner. And considering there's a lot of dialogue in the game, we're gonna be seeing those portraits a lot, and we're just gonna get flashbanged in the corner. I would like that gone if possible. Call my guy. Call my code expert. He probably knows how to deal with this. I'm curious about character changes as well. Like, I didn't bother using Tay because I didn't really have room for her, but I was told that she is the worst character in the game. And Nitori is also not very good. Nitori's issue is that she's a tank that doesn't really fulfill the role of tank. And then she doesn't really do anything else. But I think she's better or improved. They did alter some characters in Complete Box, so Nitori's probably better. Nitori is the only real option you have for a good portion of the early game, though. Nitori and Kain are your main walls, but like I said, Kain is really good, and Kain doesn't really fall off. Mei Ling is the best because she can attack and defend. Mei Ling's issue is similar to Flandre's, where her attacks don't let her get close. Kain also can't attack that much from a distance. Kain actually teaches herself a skill near the end of the first game that costs 45. It costs 45 MP, and it's a ranged attack, and her range stat is garbage. So yeah, she gets her Amaterasu lasers, but they suck. Meanwhile, her headbutt attack, which costs 55, is pretty damn strong for a defensive unit, but you need to be adjacent to the enemy to hit it. I don't think they would nerf characters. I don't think any character really needed a nerf. Like, there's a lot of characters who have strengths, but they're circumvented by certain aspects, like dodge tanks. Like, Aya is really hard to hit, but Aya wasn't very good. Characters are strong, but some of the stronger characters that are more dodge tanky can be thwarted by Danmaku and spell card fields, which are everywhere. And characters that are strong and tanky don't have any way to circumvent damage or dodge very well, so they're pretty much always getting beat down. Character balance seemed pretty smart to me, and obviously the better characters were better, but they cost more points to use on the map, so if you had better characters, you had to use less of them, which meant they got whittled down harder. But obviously, having too many bodies meant that you just had a bunch of small fry that get shot down, which is exactly how the enemy goes. We'll make another OP Rumia. I'd like to. Last time, I didn't actually max out the wife points for Rumia because I ended up giving them the Lily because I maxed her out in one game and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just use them over here. But the wife points make units good. And if you can just min-max and put them all in one character and make them really good. So Rumia is not a very high-cost character, but I made her about as good as all of my other characters. Her like 10 MP attack was matching power levels with some of the grand attacks of the mid-game units. And then her grand attack was doing fuck-ass loads of damage. And she was a walking fortress. She had battleship level HP. No other character had that. She had more HP than every other tank, and she almost had as much HP as the fucking ship. Which is, the whole point of that one is that it has a bunch of HP and no evasion. So it has to have a lot of HP to make up for it. But Rumia was a walking fortress. I'm glad she got a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly. I didn't really use Wriggle. I didn't really use... I kind of used Mystia. I didn't really use the Prism Rivers. There's a number of characters I ended up not really using for one reason or another. And I'd like to mix it up and use some more characters, but I don't really remember too many of the characters I'd used. Some of them ended up getting benched. I do want to use Momiji. I saw in the trailer that Momiji's Rabies Bite has an art cut in now, which it didn't before, and that's one of my favorite attacks. Rabies Bite is so cool. But Momiji is a character that I don't have to worry about for a while. Luigi. Youmu's a really good unit. The only issue is that you lose Youmu for a good part of the second game, but she's one of those units that continues to learn new skills and keeps up with the rest of the cast. And man, her shit is strong. Because she has ranged options that use her proper stat, but then she has a bunch of close range attacks that just do fuckloads of damage too. But she also has parry, so she can approach defensively and like avoid damage entirely. She also has Excel and Alert, so she can move faster and further and dodge attacks. So Youmu is probably one of the best units in the game. Don't ask me exactly about that because I played on easy mode because I'm not good at the genre. But it's nice when units that you've been using the whole series get more moves to keep them fresh. Because it does kind of stink when it's like, oh, you got this character in the first 10 missions, and they have nothing new. They have nothing new at all. So it just makes you kind of want to play with the new characters, right? But you're incentivized to play with new characters, of course. But it's nice that they give you more stuff for your previous characters. Even Ellie and Kurumi, despite them being really not great, get more attacks and get a combo attack too. So Ellie and Kurumi, despite being very budget units, continue to get new stuff. So if you are using them, you're given more, not really given more incentive to use them, but you're rewarded by new moves. And every character kind of gets to do that, where they learn a new move or they become part of another move, where it's like, oh, there you go. It just sucks when it happens so late with a character that you're using, because it means that you have to kind of deal with a character not being that great for a while. It's like how do I explain it? I guess it's like Fire Emblem, where it's like there are some units that are considered really strong, but you have to invest a lot of EXP into them. Otherwise, they're just dead weight. But sometimes there are units who are like that they join way too late in the game, or it's way too difficult to get them that EXP. So it just results in them not being very good units at all, because you can't realistically get them to the point. It's like those villager units who are designed to be very malleable and have high stack growth, but they start really weak, so you have to invest a lot of time into them. But depending on when they join you, they might suffer. They might suffer, and then you'll suffer, and then they won't be worth the investment, because now all of your other units aren't really doing it. Like, they're not really keeping up, and your invested unit wasn't really that great by the end of it. Est characters. Well, there you go. You have more idea of that. Also, Youmu's main attack is her Ghost Shot. You get Youmu in the first game, but she has 3 moves. Her normal slash, which is adjacent foes, her Ghost Shot, which is range 2 to 3, and Meditation Slash, which costs a lot and is also range 1. So the majority of the first game, Youmu is just using her Ghost Shot to hit things. But if you can actually get her in a position to Meditation Slash, it's good. The issue with the first game is that the stronger moves require power to use. And getting power is something that you build up gradually by killing things. So there's a lot of times in Scarlet where a map will end before your units even get the power necessary. But by the end of the game, you are doing maps where every unit on your board will at some point reach maximum power, and you will start flinging big attacks everywhere. But for Scarlet, a lot of the early game maps, you don't actually gain enough power to unleash your big moves. But there's not really a boss to take them out. The biggest problem I have with Scarlet, aside from the fact that it crashed a bunch, was that too many of the objectives, and granted this is kind of a Super Robot Wars staple, but there were too many objectives where you had to beat the boss, but then the boss would just run away if they hit a certain threshold of HP. And the bonus condition, which gets you extra points and items, would be like you had to actually defeat them, but you couldn't do enough damage to actually defeat them, so you had to play a numbers game with the range, which is really annoying. I'm pretty sure there's like 3 or 4 bosses that you have to defeat, but then they're just like, all right, I'm leaving, bye, and then you void the bonus objective. If you're gonna put a boss in front of me, let me kill them. I want to kill them. It's cool though that the way they do it is they break it up into a spell card system, because in Super Robot Wars, it's just one massive HP bar. But by breaking it up into multiple phases of different attacks, I think it's really cool. And it's fitting for Touhou thematically as well. So some of the bosses have multiple spell cards. There's also the Danmaku field stuff, which, like I said before, I didn't really play that mechanic. Easy mode kind of let me ignore the whole Danmaku field shit. You're supposed to use focus mode, but I really didn't. So I'm going to play on normal mode, and I'm going to play Reimu route. Because I played Marisa route, which is actually the only reason I was able to play the final entry in the series, because somebody translated the Marisa route for that game, but not the Reimu route. So I will be playing the Reimu route for for the complete box. So we'll be seeing maps that I didn't see before. A couple of them. We'll be seeing the game from Reimu's perspective in a couple maps as well, which is interesting. So I don't remember everything that happened in Marissa's route, obviously, but I think it's better, in my opinion, if I play through the Reimu route on the complete box, because we're still going to get access to all the same characters, but we're going to see a couple different maps and different parts of the story. For example, a big one is the fact that there's a split in the second game where Marissa goes... I forget where Marissa goes, but I know that Reimu ends up going somewhere and ends up running into Sho and Nazaren. So once you meet back up, Reimu's just like, all right, allow me to introduce you to Sho and Nazaren. And it's just like, oh, I guess now Sho and Nazaren are part of your team. Okay, cool. So the chapter where those two end up joining you is a Reimu exclusive chapter. So they kind of just showed up and it's like, oh, well, all right, I guess now you're part of the team. Cool, welcome. How you doing? But I'll actually get to see the chapter on what causes that. But then I'll probably have a situation on Marissa's side where it's like, hey, here's a new character for our team. Okay, hello. Like I said, I don't remember too many of the details of what was different. But maybe my memory will trigger when we get there. But that's a ways off. That is a ways off. I won't think too hard about it. Sho and Nazaren. Nazaren's not that great. Nazaren's basically a backpack for Sho. Kind of like Kwakama. Although Kwakama is the definition of a backpack. Or I guess people call her a battery. She just, she replenishes different characters' stats while also benefiting the one she's partnered to. But Nazaren isn't really like that. Nazaren has some skills that are nice, but she really is just kind of like something that you stick on Sho for less cost overall. It's convenient, but she herself, her bonus damage is pretty much irrelevant, and she's not that strong, but it's fine for her not to be that strong. Kwakama is very good. Kwakama is required for Patchy to use one of her special attacks. I forget which one. I think it's Silent Celine. But yeah, she needs Kwakama for that. But Kwakama is a really good, like, mana juicer. But she's just helpful to have with Patchy, and her kit's kind of designed with Patchy in mind. Patchy, by the way, is fucking hilarious, because Patchy's skill set is designed with her being able to attack enemies from, like, 8 tiles away. And that's really bad if you don't have the skill that prevents attack decay. But Patchy also had, like, guard, so sometimes Patchy can just take hits when she really shouldn't be able to. But most of the time, she stays all the fuck way in the back and throws fireballs from 500 yards away. She just yeets fireballs away from everybody. It's quite funny. But she's also one of those units that has no evasive type skills. So she's reliant on a rather fragile defense, but her main skills are attacking from a distance. So she's not supposed to be in enemy range. She's supposed to be in the back line. But they gave her some things that prevent her from just flat out exploding. Because you know how, like, clerics work in Fire Emblem, right? Clerics are very fragile physically. They're very fragile physically, so you're supposed to keep them behind your other units. But they usually have respectable resistance stats, because the only enemies that can really hit them from the back lines are mages. So obviously their resistance isn't gonna, like, you know, it's not gonna make them immune, but it is going to provide them some cover from that weakness, which is cool. And Patchy, I guess, is kind of like that, where she has some form of defense, so she's not completely vulnerable, but she works best. She works best way, way far away. She's basically a ballista. She's basically that game's ballista. She also has, like, the weakest attack in the game, which is her book. You can only use it adjacent. It only hits adjacent, and it uses her physical attack stat, which I don't know how bad that is compared to other characters, but that might be one of the weakest attacks in the entire game. It's also unique. No other character does that. Then again, I don't know if any other character kicks either, like Alice does. Alice just kicks you. Most characters just tackle or fire some, like, really weenie thing. They don't do very much, basically. But yeah, Book is unique, but it is extremely mediocre. Get that right. You can play Fantasy Maiden Wars by breaking it up in chapters, I find. Like, the way Fire Emblem I've always found is Fire Emblem maps can be pretty draining. But the issue with Fire Emblem maps for me is more so if a unit dies at any point in the map, I either have to restart the whole map or I live with the loss. Fantasy Maiden Wars, you don't have to do that. If you lose a unit, I don't think anything really happens. They just miss out on the rest of the EXP they can get from existing on the map. But losing units in Fantasy Maiden Wars isn't really the end of the world. Also, if you game over on a map, you keep your EXP. So if you're having trouble with a map, you can try again and you'll have the EXP that you got before. Because I know there's a boss in Scarlet. In Scarlet, there's a map where Yuka is watching you. And she's way too fucking strong for any of your units to beat in a regular playthrough. But if you beat the shit out of everything on the map and then let her kill you and you try the map again, you'll keep all your EXP. And then you just beat the shit out of everything in the map again, and eventually you'll be strong enough to beat the shit out of her and get her item drop. But you're really not really encouraged to do that. But I like that method of progression because it means even if you lose, you're still keeping you're still keeping the time that you invested in it, and it makes the map easier for the next time. You have more information, and your units are stronger as well. They're not like super stronger because there is an EXP growth deal where if your level gets too high, the amount of EXP you get from certain enemies will start to decay, but you still get EXP. Even if you're not intentionally grinding, it's just nice that there's kind of a net in place to be like, oh, you lost, that's okay. Keep all the progress for your characters that you got from the map, but try the map again, and now you know what to expect. You have information, and you have stronger units as well. But also, units that are weaker get bonus EXP for taking enemies out, so you can catching units up to others is actually very easy. So if you want to throw a couple maps to just level up some other characters, you could probably do that as well. Game keeps track of game overs. You have shame points attached to your profile. You can in theory farm your units to max level and steamroll the game. Kind of, but you can't really get away with that with certain characters. Because some characters leave the party in multiple chapters, and you can't launch with them. Like if you're using the main character, like Reimu and Marisa, then yeah, you can pretty much just power through the game with them. But like you will see diminishing returns on EXP. But every other character will eventually leave the team in some capacity, so you can't use them in every chapter. But the game is not really designed with that in mind, is really the problem. There are some characters that are so strong they can effectively solo the game. That's true. That is true. But those games they encourage you to have variation in your team, so you have different things going on. Also, some missions are probably impossible with only one unit. Or some missions also force certain units to be part of the map as well. So you can't really do that. It's not like Pokemon. You can't just pick your starter and run through the whole game with them. Those types of games, they have restrictions in more cinematic places. Wow. You need to pay. In Super Robot Wars, you do need to pay to revive units, yes. I don't believe that was a thing in Fantasy Maiden Wars. I think the only thing Fantasy Maiden Wars did was it kept track of who got their ass beat, and like it made a note of who didn't survive the battle. But they don't cost points to bring them back. Because if it cost points to bring them back, it would kind of defeat the purpose of the game over EXP. Unless like gaming over doesn't just game overing doesn't take any points, but still gives you everything. But it feels like it'd be counterintuitive to be like, oh, you lost all your units. All right, we're taking all of your resources to increase your character's stats, but we'll keep your EXP. Because there's no point in doing that if you're removing the other thing. Because the individual stat increases from points are a way to level up past your level up. And the wife point system is also a way to do that. Now, it's interesting because I don't know how the wife point system actually works in Complete Box. I think it's completely overhauled. Either that or it works the way it does in the later games. But in the original game, Scarlet, wife points gave you special skills. and then later on, they basically just uncapped the amount of level up you could do. So like every character can invest an additional five tallies into HP, MP, defense, and evasion, and also attack power. But the wife points uncapped it, so it uncapped up to 10, and it would give you basically one additional point in all of those stats on top of the ones you put into them. So you could theoretically max out at like double the allotted amount. As to how much that goes up by, I don't really know. I don't understand the number system of the game very much. Like I said, I played on easy mode, so a lot of the important stuff to know for what's going on wasn't really necessary for me, because I could just kind of beat my head against the wall. But I didn't mind beating my head against the wall, because the main reason I was playing the game initially was because I wanted to see the animation, so having characters die less often was convenient. I was able to use more characters to see the animations as well, so that was nice. But this time I will play on a higher difficulty, so I will do that. I'll play on normal. I'm not good at that genre of game. I'm not good at tactics RPGs. I'm quite bad at them. My strategies are often turtling, grouping up, and not utilizing resources properly. And then I get impatient and I don't think hard enough about what I'm supposed to be doing, and I just kind of bum rush. And then it's like, bro, your tactics are not good, but like on easy mode, it didn't matter if my tactics were good or not. I got my dude to the enemy, and I hit the enemy, and that was all I really needed. You know, I was satisfied with that. But the higher difficulty stuff is like, you gotta sit there and run fucking math equations for every single enemy, and I'm just like, no, I don't have the patience for that. I don't have the patience for that. Have you ever watched somebody play Lunatic difficulty for Fire Emblem games? Lunatic or hard mode, and it's just like they're sitting there contemplating an entire turn. One whole turn is taking over 20 minutes because they're just running the numbers. They're just checking what every possible move is from that position, making sure nothing dies, and like that's how you're supposed to play the game. And the higher difficulty stuff is really good for people who like that kind of gameplay because there's so much of it. There's a lot of brain power involved. I don't like thinking. I don't like thinking that hard. Okay? I'm okay with thinking a little bit, but I don't want to have to weigh every single movement on whether or not my unit's gonna fucking explode based on like based on what 20 turns or 20 movements after what I do and commit to works. Also, I save like a motherfucker. I don't know if it was easy mode, but you can save at any point. You can save at any point in on the map. And this time around, I'm not really gonna abuse that. I'm gonna take what comes as it comes. If I miss a fucking 98% chance to hit, I'm just gonna have to hold that. All right, so I'm gonna let my options actually have merit instead of just re-rolling like a motherfucker. But the main reason I was such a chronic saver was because Scarlet crashed a lot. And if Scarlet crashed in the middle of a chapter, well, I hope you had a save point. Otherwise, you're going back to the last menu save. So I had a lot of quick save, and I quick saved a lot. But I'll try. I will still probably quick save like a motherfucker just in case. But I will hold my L's. All right. So that way I can't just be like, oh, that didn't work. Whatever. All right, load the quick save. Fuck you. I missed. The odds of me hitting are 60%. Well, I'm just gonna keep fucking restarting until I hit you, asshole. Mid-chapter saves are a casual mode feature. See, yeah, I know that, but like I don't remember how it was for Fantasy Maiden Wars. But like I said, you did a lot because the game Scarlet crashed a lot. It just sometimes chapters would straight up end and crash. So if I didn't have a quick save right before like the last action of that turn, well, there you go. The shit would crash trying to load to the next fucking dialogue after the map. And sometimes it would just straight up crash when it tried to change the turn. It just crashed a lot. It crashed a lot, so I needed to use the quick save feature. and then I just kind of ended up abusing it. But like I said, I played on easy mode because I wasn't interested necessarily in playing the game the way the game was intended to be played. I was interested in the story, the characters, the music, the art, and seeing as much as I could from the game. And I got that out of my last playthrough, and I will get that in the next playthrough. But now I have experience, and I'm sure I can handle normal mode and make it more of an enjoyable... I can make it more of an enjoyable gameplay venture instead of just, you know... Streamer can never die, and he will restart for 15 minutes to get the outcome he wants. Now, it's funny, because in Fire Emblem, at least in Fire Emblem Awakening specifically, casual mode in that game had bookmarks as well. And bookmarks were mid-battle saves, but they didn't work the same. Because the mid-battle saves in Awakening, all the RNG for that turn was already set. So all of your battle RNG is already like decided. So you can bookmark and see how an exchange goes, but the exchange will always go the way that it's determined, and you can't alter the outcome. At least as far as I know, you can't alter the outcome. So you can at least see how a situation will go, and you can reload it. But otherwise, you can't just cheese like you can't cheese a hit through loading the bookmark. If you miss that hit, that hit is gonna miss for the rest of that turn. My route to 124 or 126. Yes, I am. This is the route right outside Sutopolis. I know Relicanth can spawn here. I'm pretty sure everybody can confirm that Relicanth spawns here. Right? Well, shit, now I have to check the fucking map. I don't have a map. I'll just surface. I'm on Route 126. I know he's here. Everybody catches the Relicanth right outside Sutopolis. Alright. Secret character you can get if you meet a certain condition in a specific chapter. In what? Maiden Wars? Can you change the order of battles to affect RNG? I don't know for sure because I didn't really test that much, but I remember specifically that I kept trying to get Chrom to hit Gangrel with a 70% chance, and he missed 10 restarts in a row. And at that point, I was just like, alright, Chrom cannot hit him, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm no tester. I don't know if you can advance the RNG state by doing other battles, but at the very least, I couldn't just keep rolling that specific battle over and over because it was never going to work. It's a 5% streamer. Why? Because I want the Reggies. Complete box. Hold on. Was that secret character in the original? Or is the secret character new to Complete Box? I'm curious, but I don't want all the information. Don't think it was in the original. Okay, well, that is information that I partially want, but I want that when we get there, and I don't want anything other than what I'm supposed to do. So we can, we can do that. We can worry about that when we get to that chapter. Because I don't know anything about this, but a secret character, that's kind of poggy. We get a whole brand new character. What if it's just Renosuke? He just gets off the boat, tears his shirt off, starts punching people. Now that's a character. That'd be great. This is really unlucky, huh? Chad, it's been 40 minutes. But you know what? I don't mind that much. I don't really mind. Talking so much, my mouth is getting sore. This isn't that theme. It's exciting. 1 week from today. 1 week from today. Dystopia ought to be cool. I played the demo for Dystopia quite a while back. and I played as Yomu. Yomu's all-rounder, and Flandre, who's all about the offensive attack. And the two other characters who are going to be in the full game are Marissa and Moko. Marissa's probably going to be heavier emphasis on projectiles, and Moko is going to be more emphasis on physical attacks, but fast physical attacks. Because Flandre swings a fucking claymore around, and it's hilariously strong. So I'm excited for that. The animations in that game are really good. I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to playing that as well. I like that Koishi song. I forgot what it's called. But it's the Koishi song that was in the DLC pack. I like that one. This sounds like Sonic 3 a little bit. Doodaloo. Well, now it doesn't sound like anything. Yeah, Yomu, Fly, Marissa, and Moko. I already knew that. We'll have some more bosses as well. The bosses in the game that were shown were the Hina, Aya, and Suako. And there's one other boss that I saw in screenshot that the dev sent me in the email, which I'm not going to spoil for you guys, but I saw it. I saw another boss. So yeah, I don't know if the demo stuff will carry over, but I don't mind if it doesn't, because I thought the game was pretty fun. Really, that's the visual flair of the game that makes up for it. But because like some of the maps are they're very in-betweeny, but the action feels very solid and smooth that you don't really care about it for a while. But it is one of those games where you would want a little more. You want a little more substance in the in-between, I suppose, because the in-between stuff between bosses is kind of a nothing fest to an extent. But like I said, I'm easily entertained by the animations and whatnot, and you also use them to build up skills more than anything, so I'm okay with it. But having more variance and more shit going on before the boss could be more interesting. Think of Isaac, right? Isaac is usually a good comparison for roguelites, for how I think how you should kind of handle a situation where there's a lot of prep you can do prior to a boss, but there's nothing really stopping you from going to the boss once you kind of reach them, right? So Lost Branch is a little different. Lost Branch, you don't get the choice to jump to the boss, asterisk, because of Doremi, but there's a lot of prep that you do as you advance to the boss, and you grow, right? Isaac works differently because killing things does grant you stuff that you use to find other things, but it's not the same where like every room is directly strengthening you for the next encounter. So roguelites are fun. That said, the vampire type roguelites, I don't fuck with those. I don't really fuck with those. You see that one that's been going on for a while now, Megabunk. It's a meme fest, and I don't get any interest in it. Also, yeah, the Kadama dialogue in the original Fantasy Maiden Wars was all references of actual Super Robot War dialogue, and they changed it out of copyright concerns, which I will say this again because I said it before. If there's a mod to restore all of that dialogue to the Kadamas, I want it. So I ask, I beg, restore the Kadama dialogue, and send me that mod. I want the white square behind the portraits gone, and I want the old Kadama dialogue back. They just be shouting shit that is applicable to vehicular war. And it's just, but it's just like, we're firing Danmaku. Dialogue is still in the files. Wait. Somebody call my guy. Somebody call my guy. I need my guy. Call my guy. Open up the game. Well, okay, first of all, I really should not mess with the game in any capacity before it's officially out. That's a terrible fucking decision. So I won't be doing that. But I would like to do that at some point, so I will do that after the game properly releases. What does it change in the English version? I don't know. I actually don't know. All I know is that the Kodama had a lot of funny dialogue that we couldn't see because the translation for the game, actually translating the in-battle dialogue, which by the way was full of unique flavor text that we didn't really get because it was all Japanese and they couldn't translate it without breaking the game. Scarlet was the only one in the series for a translation that had that text translated. But now it's all going to be translated. Characters are going to have flavor text when fighting each other, which is going to be great because it adds more flavor to the fight. You see what they're saying. But there's no Kodama in the demo. I didn't play the demo. The Kodama, I don't know what chapter they show up in. I think for the most part, the first 3 chapters is just fairies, isn't it? The encyclopedia. Well, also the menu, right? The prep menu wasn't translated in later games either. Well, most of it wasn't, so I kind of had to feel my way around those for a bit. And I also couldn't check what my unit's spirit moves were because they were all in Japanese. So I couldn't tell what they were unless I loaded them into the map, because then it was translated if I used them in the map. Hell, I think they actually weren't. At one point, I think I have a memory hole there. But yeah, there was a lot of menu shenanigans that caused some trouble. That didn't really affect me playing the game on easy mode, but on higher difficulties, it would have been kind of annoying. I can't read it in Japanese because it's kanji. If it's kanji, I can't read it. And if it's hiragana and katakana, well, actually, if it's kana, I can probably figure it out because it's basically English at that point. But if it's kanji, then you got me. That's a glop moment right there. It's a big glop moment. Whenever Rumi attacks a boss, she says they taste like something. Why did she do that? I don't know. Oh my god, there he is! Jironzu. Holy Jesus. Alright. Now don't kill him. Then... Okay. Hoorah. Okay. Okay, alright. I'm scared to bite him. I don't have... What do I hit him with? I'll confuse him, I guess. I'm gonna get him. Nah. Akubi. Alright, hit him with a wing attack. He resists this, so it's fine. That was a crit. Okay. I'm gonna fall asleep now. Honk, shoo, me. Alright. Goo. Oh. Ganseki Fuji. That did a lot of damage. Wake up, Crawbat. He's got Rock Head, so I don't have to worry about him recoil killing himself. Okay. Another crit. Okay. Is that enough damage to him? Okay. Alright. Let's see what we got. In the bag we go. Great ball it is. Paralyzed. A little over half. We did it. We succeeded. Chojo. He's a fossil. He's old. And bald. Alright, good. We did it. We did it. Ha ha ha. That took 50 minutes. So now let's head to the Reggies. Alright. We're gonna head to the Reggies, boys. So first I need to go back to Ball Arbor and get Dig. I need Dig, Dive, and Wailord and Relicanth. So I could give Dig to Relicanth, I guess. It's this guy's house, right? Alright. Yeah, the playlist will be for tomorrow. Well, actually, tomorrow I need not vocal music. No vocal music tomorrow, please. Nothing copyright either, so because that's annoying to deal with. Kimi mo kaseki hitsuketa da ne. Tsuki suteki utori shiyou yo. Kimi sono ka... forgot what it is again. Kasekiどうするの? 聞いた話ではデボンでは奇跡ポケモンに生き返らせる研究をしているよ。そうだよ。Now make sure there's no vocals or copyright, mainly, because then I have to get rid of it, which is annoying. Boku wa kanseki tsuki da kara sonnan koto shinai shiketa ne. Wait, I thought this guy gave me Dig. What? Is it you? Oh, it is you. Oops. Okay. I just don't want the vocals to go against mine, I guess. Hold on, I can go return the meteorite, I suppose. Here you go. Here's your meteorite, dude. Oh, magma. And you get the TM for return. You know the last Emerald VOD got a copyright claim from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire arrangement. Picked up by somebody else's cover of the Gym Leader song. So that's cool. I'm really glad that got caught. So, yeah. Alright, so let's see. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to Pacific Log. So we need Dive, we need Dig, we need Wailord, and we need Relicanth. So all I have to do is put one Pokemon in the box, because I already have Wailord. And I can give Dig to somebody. Although Dig itself could be decent on a Pokemon. See, I caught this guy. Look at him. His name is, Cheatin. Alright. You can wait in the fucking box. Alright. Let's see. Annao Horu. I thought Dig had 80 base power. What? Aw. I guess it's better than nothing. It had 100 in Gen 1. Alright, seismic toss, focus energy, karate chop. Well, we'll get rid of focus energy, I guess. We're not really fishing for crits anyway. Revenge is really good. Too good to give up. Karate chop is helpful. Alright, there you go. Earthquake is 100 base power. Okay. Oh, we didn't actually give... Who has dive? I was about to say we didn't give dive to anybody, but that's not true because I was just underwater for 50 minutes. This guy thinks he's not going to be angry at other people's opinions. Ooh, that's rich. That's rich. You're funny. You're funny, you know that? Alright, how do I get there? I don't know. We're just gonna walk until I succeed, I guess. Shisai koro wa yoku kaze hita kedo tsuei hajimete konna ni jobu. Hold on. Do any characters on this route mention the dive spot? Or is it just kind of like not there? Go. Your name is Goo. Go. Alright. Oh. Alright, let me just thunderbolt our way through here. Remember, if you get mad, you lose. You get mad, you lose. Don't lose. Don't lose now. Moto tsuyokanaritai. Yeah, I don't actually remember the way you're supposed to go for this, so we're just gonna keep going. Fushigi na ame. Until we figure out where we're going here. Wee. I don't think I'm going the right way anymore. Ira shiai omachi shitemashita wa. I didn't include any bait because my takes are spicy enough. Alright, big man. Harumi. Tatsu. The first horsey. We have like 5 to 7 different angry emotes. It's time to unleash your inner rage. That is Shidora. Shidora. What a creature. Which one's the angriest emo? What's the current bait to take ratio? I'm not gonna tell you that. Because you're gonna think too hard about the ratio for when you're trying to figure out if it's bait or not. Yang. I'm not gonna let you math your way through this one, nerd. Hoshi no kakere. I think I'm already off it. It's like basically at the end, but... well, wait. Hi. Watashi no rabukasu tachi to tanoshiku shobu shimashou yo. Is Glorper mad? I don't remember the name of the emote actually is. Sonoko. Yeah, this fucking thing. What is our angriest emote? What emote to you signifies the angriest you could possibly be? 777. How is that an angry emote? That ain't an angry emote. Ararararararararagi-san. Arararararagi. Ararararararara. Oyogi no tokui na Pokemon datte nagasareru Chio no nagareta. Hidenori. Be prepared, chat. Be prepared for the first time chatter awards. We'll get some first time chatter awards for sure tomorrow. Ha 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 ha. Never to be seen again. Yeah. No, I failed. Wait, can I do this? I think I can. Ooh, okay. Alright. Bring it on! Pokemon Torena Nara Damate Pokemon Shobu. Atai no Pokemon wa chotto ya sotto ja taosenai yo. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if Reddit found it. I don't know where it expanded to. I don't care where it expanded to. I put it where I put it and left the rest to God. And honestly, considering I'm probably going to have over 700 opinions I have to sit through, that's fine. Iwao and Tamaki. Torena is also katakana for sweatshirt. What? Well, no, Tore is katakana. But the na is also in katakana, so it's trainer. But Tore, I guess, is sweatshirt. You can't just throw hiragana in there. Come on now. Oh, who are you? I'm you, but stronger. Wow, they're both alive. Nice. Torena. It means trainer. Pokemon trainer. Pokemon Torena. Goriki. Tobihiza. It's a jump kick, I assume. Asan Chop. It's funny because in Gen 3 it doesn't hit your partner, which is significantly worse than if it did. And in Gen 4, they made it so it doesn't hit your partner. It does hit your partner, so it doesn't receive any negation in power, even though they changed the negation of power to be less impactful. Fake out. It's fine. Muscle Bob. My big ass whale. I love this guy. Yeah. 5 HP. Fat boy. Usodaro. Atai ga makeru nante. No way, I can't lose. Another fucking item I can't pick up. Great. This is all shit I can sell. Great. Well, let's just... hold on, I'm gonna give the Lax Incense to, fuck, I don't know. You? So if you didn't know, the Lax Incense is not the same as Bright Powder in this game. A Lax Incense is it's a 5% change. And Bright Powder is 10%. Bright Powder is in the post-game. And, Lax Incense was buffed to be the same as Bright Powder in Gen 4. Why? What are you asking me for? You think I have all the fucking answers? But it's true. Lax Incense is not as good as Bright Powder in Gen 3. Well. Oh, I didn't use a repel. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of the spread moves. Spread moves were significantly cut in power in Gen 3, but only if they hit the other side. And in Gen 4 onwards, they changed that to 75%. Alright, back we go. I believe you get Bright Powder on the ship that takes you to the battle frontier. Well, I know you get leftovers there. But yeah, Lax Incense is only a 5% dodge increase instead of 10. But it changed to be the same as Bright Powder, both 10% onwards. So you could run 2 Bright Powders. Because item clauses exist in official formats, having an item that fulfills the same purpose means you can be twice as obnoxious. Did I ever tell you the story of the time I went to I went on online battle 3v3 and I left my Omastar in against a Charizard Y because I had Bright Powder and I shell smashed in its face and it solar beamed and missed because of my Bright Powder, and then I swept his entire team because he couldn't hit me? Did I ever tell you that story? That's a good story. Oh, hello. Katsuka makeru ka yare ha wakaru koto doro. Omastar. I just shell smashed and I had Ancient Power, Scald, I think, and Ice Beam. Kazuo. So this guy has like 1 Magikarp and he has like 5 Gyarados. And it's funny, I remember this trainer specifically because I could not beat him with a level 100 Magikarp. I couldn't beat him because every I didn't have anything to switch Magikarp into that I was allowed to. And all his Intimidates added up and Magikarp couldn't kill them. And Magikarp got chipped out by all of his Gyaradoses. Ha ha ha. They're not very strong, but it takes a while. You see, they're very juicy. They're very juicy for stats here. They're not, but yeah. They're just gonna keep getting intimidated. I'm not getting EVs in the stat I want here, that's for sure. That's fine. There's no way to avoid this asshole when you come this direction. You get dropped right in his face. Legitimately the only trainer I couldn't beat. Another one. If I could have switched, it would have been fine, but I was actively avoiding that. Yada. Cha-cha-cha-cha. This guy really has 5 Gyarados. Kind of insane, isn't it? They sure give you a lot of EXP. Gyarados. God, I hate how many things in the battle frontier cost like 64 battle points. Good TMs took like 8 fucking hours, assuming that you didn't like lose, to get a single TM. What were they thinking with that, man? Oh, you want energy ball? 64 BP. Okay, how do I get BP? Well, if you win 7 battles in a row, I'll give you 3. Really? 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 But what if I don't want energy ball? Well, then I guess you don't have a grass move for that Pokemon you want to use. Wa maketa shimatta. There is more than just energy ball that was subject to that, just so you know. There was more to it than just that, don't you worry. We get to play test it. I think they just wanted to incentivize you to do things, but they just... It was really bad. Like, really bad. Itsumo issho no ba-san wa doko kana? Hitori de katteru jaro ka? Hitori de kono bosho de chugyu suru no ga tsuki datta no ni ozai oze yatte kurundamono hidoi. When you get a higher streak, beating a Frontier Brain gets you 20. Gozo. Tatsujin Gozo. And Narumi. Okay. And you get more battle points the longer your streak goes. But the longer your streak goes, the easier it becomes to lose. Fuck it, I'm staying in. Okay. Okay. Dude, move tutors were some of the best and worst things to happen to Pokemon because it gave some Pokemon options they probably shouldn't have had. Alright. This would not be a problem if I kept Manectric in, but I figured there wouldn't be any Pokemon I needed. We hit the blizzard though. You're dead. You're not. But at least you don't have double teams up. Kinogasa. Okay. Hidden Misto. Alright, well I'm gonna click Blizzard again. And then this thing is... Alright, that's fine. You can click whatever you want, dude. You're dead. Goodbye. The Battle Frontier facilities were fascinating, though. Even if they were a pain in the ass. You can't protect again. Skashi. Umaku. No split damage negation will kill you, and your next thing that comes in will die. It will die to my Karate Chop. Hassan Chop! Okay, that won't die to my Karate Chop, but it will die to Swampert. Spitting on it. I don't even have to spit on it. I can just do that. Move Tutor moves gave Heat Wave to a lot of random Pokemon. Kind of funny, actually. Ah, yappari dame ka ne. Wakatta wa yo. Minna de tsukae ba ii desho. Let me throw. I'm out of blizzards. Well, hopefully I don't need it. いつも一緒のじいさんがいなくても勝てるわい。さっきから変な視線を感じると思ったら君がI pretty much I don't remember what it is I used battle points for at a certain point. Suzu and Ryosuke. But I know that I initially wanted I initially wanted battle points. I initially wanted battle points for the power items that were introduced in Gen 4. The ones that gave specific EVs. Also, I remember we had this conversation before about the EV formula, and I said that I only killed 16 Pokemon to max out EVs. And it was bothering me because I was wrong. And by wrong, I mean that your EVs don't cap out at when you kill 16 with Pokerus and a power item. So where the fuck was my calculation wrong? And the answer, apparently, I think, if I remember correctly, my answer to that is the usage of stat boosting drinks. So if you didn't know, stat boosting drinks, they don't tell you anything, by the way. They don't fucking tell you anything. The stat boosting drinks, or EV boosting drinks, the protein, the calcium, and whatnot, they increase your EVs by 10. But they can only increase your EVs up to 100 of the stat, and then they don't work anymore. This was changed later on. This was changed at some point. I don't remember when, but at least in Gen 9, you could just feed 25 or 26. You could feed 26 of a stat boosting, EV boosting stat item, and max out a Pokemon's EVs. But in old Pokemon, you could only put 100 EVs into it, and then you could no longer take the stat boosting drink. Also, you couldn't take it if their EVs were maxed out. So there was that. So I would use 10 of those to get 100, and then I would have the power item, and then the Pokerus. So basically one Pokemon Tsuyoine. Like, okay, so killing a Pokemon gives you 1 EV, right? You get 1 EV. The power item specifically adds +4 to that equation. So you get 1 + 4. And then Pokerus doubles it. So then you get 1 + 4 × 2 for a total of 10 EVs. Give the soft sand to you, and I'll take the quick claw back and I'll give it to somebody else. And I can pick this up. That was the equation. So you take 100 from the stat boosting drinks, and you kill 16 Pokemon. And by killing 16 Pokemon, you're left with 152 EVs into the stat for a total of 255. But you don't want 255. It's weird. EVs are strange. Where are we going? Hi. Who are you? Crobat, it's your turn to get a kill. Hi. Karatari kara te hito to onaji you ni sodatte wa shinai ze. Okay. Oi, 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 oi. Neji. That's not a Pokemon that you can kill, Crobat. You need to get the hell out of there right now. Estoy Lupin. Wow. Iwaoi, I meant to use the water move. Okay, at least it died. Man, oh man. Alright. Brun Papa. Brun Papa. Oh, that one you can actually kill. Show him what you got. Cha-cha-cha-cha. He's a pineapple. Kill him. Pineapple Kappa. He's gone now. Good job. Okay. Kozo ore no yarikata wa mada mada amai. He's got like 15 different cultures mixed into him. One super culture. One super culture. Oh, I see it. It's down there. Shit, I missed it. Okay, so I just need to stay low to the map, I guess. I missed that too, huh? Alright. This route is so stupid. But this is how you do an optional route. This is how you do an optional route. The route that heads from Mount Pyre back to Mauville, that route is pointless. It's just a bunch of one-way ledges that don't get you much of anything. This route leads to a secret legendary chamber. You're gonna have routes that completely do not need to be accessed. You might as well make them exciting like this, right? Alright, just gotta stay low. That's all. How low? Very low, I guess. Hope you like whale noises. Where am I going? I don't think I'm low enough anymore. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shirobura. Let's hope this works. Did I miss it? I think I missed it if I'm off the route, right? Oh, no! No! Wow. What the fuck is this? What the hell? Kono atori wa geshi shio no nagare. Sore ma mo mata ore tachi o kitae te kureru. Tsubayai kogeki o kawasematsu koto. Why am I here? I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. What the hell are you? Oh, you're a dragon trainer. Doregon Tsukai, dragon catcher. Tatsuma and Ritsuko. This is a rare trainer class. Oh shit, this guy has Bagon. He shows you where to find a Bagon. Not very well, but he shows you. What's this guy's name? Tatsube. Tatsube. Hassan Chop. This will show you that Bagon can be caught in Meteor Falls, but what it doesn't tell you is that Bagon can only be caught in a specific room you need Waterfall for in Meteor Falls. Why? I don't know. Because. The only other thing you see is Shelgon and Salamence in their area unknown. This guy has a Bagon. That's kind of cool. I don't think I knew about this trainer. This fucker's annoying. Alright. I really would like to get to the sealed chamber before I end. Which shouldn't be that hard, because I think that's pretty much the last battle. There might be one more, though. Tsunao ni make o 認めよう。そんな手があるなんて乾杯ですわ。Why are we cheering? Thank God none of these dumbasses are like asking me for a phone number. Look at this whole stretch of bullshit. There it is. Hoshi no Kakare. This is the last battle, I think. Show me what you got. Yosh! Kyokkei Arori Awari Pokemon Shobu Shouzo Fufune ga Tagasarete shimattan desu. Okay. You know what? That's actually a really cool spot to put a trainer with a rare Pokemon, even if it's kind of a pain in the ass. Masatsugu and Naoya. Ah. So this is the part where I click surf twice. Whoosh. Be it to a KO. Whoosh. Whose surf is stronger? Oh. Well, they're both about equally as powerful. Oh, Subame. Chikyu Nage. Earth throw. Alright, do it again. Tsubasa Deotsu. Alright. And now that'll kill that thing. Oh, well, that's annoying. Because this isn't gonna kill it. Why do you have that round fucker? Where's your super cool rare Pokemon? No, they put that with the one guy. Alright, Wailord, roll out. Roll into him. Wow, that did nothing. That's okay, because this will do something. Alright. This time we're gonna get it right. Mata Borata. Batte. Batte? Awawawawawa yamete kudasai. Yamete kudasai yo. Stop. Stop. Alright, I don't know if I battled every trainer. But I have done more of this route than I was aiming to do. But I guess the EXP isn't really a bad thing, so, you know. So I just gotta stay low. I missed it by one tile. Just in case you weren't paying attention. Alright. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Fushigi no Ame. Well. Okay. Number 1. Secrets located deep underwater. Is there like a rock that represents the sealed chamber somewhere? Or is it you just end up in a completely different area? Or maybe you end up off the map. Wait, this is good. Oh, I missed that trainer. And whatever's down there. I don't think I care though. I seem to recall that happened before, but I got plenty of these to burn. Okay, come on. Alright. Just gonna make a save in case I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure right here is perfect. Alright, watch this. Here I go. Ha ha ha! I'm in. The secret underwater location. Wait, surfacing anywhere takes you back to the spot you dived at, except. So how does this work? I'm very curious. Is this gonna be in Japanese? Surely, right? What does that say? What does that say? I don't know. I have no idea what that says. I know what it's, I know what it says, but I have no idea what it says. Ofure no saki. What does that say? Like, what are these? Are these the different... So these must be the different groupings, right? These are the different groupings of characters. So this would be the vowels, right? I assume this would be the vowels. O, I, or A, I, U, E, O. And then over here, like if it's following the same format that the actual in-game text is. This is ya, you, and yo. And this is wa, o, and n. So it's even structured like the text one. So what is this saying? Which one's the 3 dot? Let's find it. It's that one. Koko. That's ko. So Koko. Koko. That's probably ni, right? No. What's 1 dot? Kokoa. Kokoa. Ah? Kokoa. Kokoase? No. Kokoami? Kokoami? I don't know. It says dig here. It's Japanese Braille, yes. And then you get the story. Who knows what that says? The dots are in groups of 6. Doko ka toku no tobira ga hiraita yo na oto da. I know what it says, but yeah, so Braille consists of 6 dots. Down, vertical 3, horizontal 2. And highlighting the dots is different combinations are different kana. And in English in here, they just put the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and they do it like that. But here, you can see it's actually structured the exact same way. This is structured the exact same way as the in-game text. So in the in-game like text, like deciding Pokemon nicknames and stuff like that, this is all of your vowels. This is your ka. Like this is your K sound. This is your S sound. This is your T sound. This is your R sound. This is your M sound. This is your H sound, and this is your N sound. And this is ya, you, and yo, and this is wa, o, and n. And then everything that's missing here is the smaller extensions of the ones above and the vowels, which don't need to be there. So everything you need to solve the language is in this room, in both English and Japanese. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the sealed chamber. And the story of the sealed chamber is they lived here and they had powerful guardians, but they feared the guardians, so they sealed them away in hopes that somebody would arrive and be able to handle them. For whatever reason, they were afraid of the Regis. But yeah, you see, if you surface anywhere, you just end up back here. But now all the Regi areas are open. Well, that'll be for another time. that was an eventful episode, maybe. I spent 50 minutes looking for a Relicanth, and I unlocked the Regis. I'm gonna catch the Regis. I don't really need to, but I kind of want to see them, just to see them. I'm gonna try and beat the game without it, but I'm probably gonna go and throw my Master Ball at Rayquaza as a bit of a like I'm done playing this move. But I'll try to beat it without that. All right, well there you go, chat. Progress for today. I just want to see the Regis because they're one of my favorite parts of Gen 3. So, and I don't get to visit them very often, so I'd like to at least see them. Go experiencing them. You know, maybe I'll catch Regice because he's my favorite, but like, they're a pain in the ass to catch because they're old gen catch rates. Well, then again, I do have the buff applied to them with the quality of life stuff. Latios and Latias are post game. They're roamer legendaries after you beat the champion, so they're not relevant. Rayquaza is interesting though because specifically with Rayquaza, all of the legendary box art, like all the box art legendaries at this point are. Well, I mean, this is the first actual instance of box art legendaries. Well, no, it's not. Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Suicune are all level 47 or 45 or something like that, or 40. And in this game, the Regis are also level 40. And as you can see, it's exactly the kind of level I'm at right now. And in Super Ruby and Sapphire, you catch Groudon and Kyogre at level 47 as well. Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina are also level 47. So they're always around a level where you can use them on the team. And they're strong enough to be a part of it. Except Rayquaza. Because in Emerald version, you can just go and catch Rayquaza right away. And he's level 70. So you can just have a Pokemon that is 30 levels higher than everything else on your team. Before you get the 8th badge. And you have the Master Ball at that point. So there you go. Have fun. You can just do that. You are allowed to do that. Nothing's stopping you from just getting a level 70 legendary before you've even gotten the 8th badge. And as far as I know, Emerald's the only game that lets you do that. Was it an accident? I don't know. But there you go. That's something you can do. And I'll do that as a safety precaution. But for the most part, I'm going to try and win without needing that. But that's just an emergency. I don't want to grind. So get me through this. We'll deal with that later, though.